back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. I just want to say a big thank you to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your support of me and each other in the comment section. You guys are amazing. Full stop. You guys are incredible, and I hope that you get every good thing because you deserve every good thing. So thank you so much for being my friend and for being here. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, we want to welcome you to this space. Please pull up a chair, grab yourself a snack, some drinks, a cup of tea, and we will have a little bit of a chat because we're all friends when we gather here at my table. So today's pick a card reading was kind of inspired by a personal reading I just did on if they got you alone, what would they say to you? So if this person on your mind had the chance to get you alone, whatever reason, there could be a myriad of reasons why the two of you are not able to have that experience right this moment, but if they could get you alone, what would they say? What would they do? We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the Halloween Tarot and the blue aragonite palm. We have pile number 2 with the Alice in Wonderland Tarot and the, why do I always draw a blank when it comes to this stone? Carnelian palm. It's a carnelian palm. And pile number 3 with the Unicorn Tarot and this beautiful place of malachite. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting for you from Spirit, and I will be posting my timestamps below in the comment section, or I'm sorry, the description box. So whichever pile is calling your name, whichever is pulling out your energy, that may be the pile for you. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, the topic today is if they could get you alone, what would they say to you? Hello everybody. In pile number 1, you were drawn to the beautiful blue aragonite, or perhaps to the Halloween Tarot, because Halloween is fastly approaching us. And this is your reading. If the person on your mind could get you alone, what would they say to you? What would this person say if they had a chance to get you alone? Ooh, we've got some things flying out in the reversal here. The 10 of Pumpkins and the Sun, both in the reverse. So we will group those together in the reverse. There's a sense of them feeling like they have to, here's 5 of Swords, 2 of Bats, and the 8 of Swords, and that's a lot, Spirit, but I'm going to take it because I feel like there's some really important messages here with what they want to say to you, because I feel like they're not wasting time, and that's one of the most important messages coming out, because if they could get you alone, I feel like they would realize that it would be a limited opportunity, and they would only have a limited amount of time to express something to you. So it's like they're trying to put as much information in here as they possibly can to explain their absence. Because it's like they feel like they have to explain why they haven't reached out to you. And there's, it's not that they don't want to. That's the most important thing, because this 10 of Pentacles reverse came out with the Sun in the reverse. So there's been a delay in what they want. There's been a delay in their gratification. And it could have something to do with the foundation that they have built for themselves. So take that as it resonates, because they are claiming that there's a sense of indecision, of not knowing what to do about their situation. And they're, you know, they would say to you, I don't know how to fix this without causing collateral damage to you, to me, to other people. So they really are scared to act upon their feelings for you. And their feelings are intense, and they want that change. They want the expansion. Even look at the leaves on the top of this wand, whereas these two are already on fire. So there's this urge to change things. There's this urge to shift into a new beginning, but they may have other responsibilities right now that hold them back. If they got you alone, what would they say to you? If they got you alone, what would they say? If they got you alone. I have the Queen of Pumpkins. The 10 of Swords. There's a message coming through with that Queen of Pumpkins about wanting to know where you're sitting in life, wanting to know what you have built for yourself as well. We have the Page of Wands reversed with the Five of Wands, and we have the King of Cups on the back of the deck. If they got you alone, they would feel like they could finally take their masks off and express how they feel for you. Because this King of Cups is very strong water energy, and they have a lot that they wanted to express in this opportunity. It's not about sex. It's not about physicality. That's not their main focus if they got a chance to see you alone. That may even come as a disappointment to some. It's not that that's not on their mind, because I feel like it is, but I feel like they have bigger fish to fry. It's like, this is an opportunity and I don't want to waste it. The King of Cups wants to take that mask off and talk about how regretful they are about the choices they made in the past, how they are still fueled by desire for you. And there's also too a really strong sense of insecurity and jealousy too. Jealousy towards anyone else that gets a chance to be in your general area in the first place. I'm not even talking about just love interest, but I'm talking about everybody. It's like they want to be a part of what you've experienced. They want to be a privy to that. They want to know about it. And this separation, all of the delay in what they feel could be their gratification, they really want to say has thrust them into this state of, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do anymore with how this situation is sitting. I don't know how to fix things. So they feel a little bit overwhelmed emotionally when it comes to you. And I feel like they'd finally have this freedom to express that a little bit. The Page of Wands in the reverse position is talking about how somebody is still struggling with the same immature type of energies that they were struggling with in the past when it came to you. Even though there's been time, even though there's been evolution, they're like, things haven't changed for me. And that's what they would say, is that things have not changed for me. I still feel jealous over you. I still want you. I still hope for this connection, even with all this star energy. But I do feel like I have to wear masks. Oh, I saw the Page of Cups and the Devil. You have the Empress. They would tell you how attractive you are, first of all. I know I said it's not all about sex, and it's not, but they would want to express to you all of the thoughts that they didn't get a chance to. So part of that is just to lay some encouragement on you so that you don't feel like this absence is a reflection of how attractive they find you. Because they want you to know too that they have been wearing masks when it comes to this connection. That they do pretend that they don't care sometimes. But it is just a self-preservation tool, because the truth is that that attraction is still there. But there almost feels like, for someone watching, that there's this competition that's causing this surrender. It could be the surrender that you are experiencing here. But if they got you alone, they would want to tell you that they are holding themselves back from acting upon the attraction that they have for you. And it could have something to do with another person. That could be one of the reasons why they hold back too. It's like they feel like this would be an opportunity to explain themselves. Because I feel like they are thrust into a state of worry when it comes to what you view the situation as being, how you view their feelings towards you. We have both in the reverse, the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords reversed. They would tell you that they have, that as much as they know logically that sometimes they should give up on this connection, it's like logic tells me I should give up, that there's no hope here. It's like, I can't give up. I'm tired of holding back. I'm tired of the separation. I can't move forward. There's a problem here with the Six of Swords in the reverse. I'm unable to move on from this. And so that really puts them into this state of despair, if I'm honest. There is a state of despair that they experience. What would they say if they got you alone? There's the King of Cups And there's the Four of Wands and the Justice. They would unload everything that they've been feeling. I don't feel like they would hold back. I don't feel like they would be the type to be guarded if they got a chance to see you alone or have a chance to speak to you alone. I feel like they, as much as they would want to be guarded, because that's been their experience perhaps of having to hide and wear masks emotionally in their life, I feel like they would want to use this opportunity as a gateway to unload all of this burden. Here's the Justice with that number 11, the Four of Wands. And that's what they would say, is that this is my opportunity and I'm going to take it. So that we don't walk away from here with any of this, any of these masks that are being worn, anything that's clouding our view of the truth of our connection. There may be practical concerns in the way, but they want to make sure that you know the truth before the end of that meeting, if they had the chance to take those masks off, to use it as a gateway to unload of themselves. I don't even feel like they would use the opportunity to kind of create an opening. It almost feels like closure, because the Page of Wands reverse is telling me I can't act upon my desires here. It's like I'm still struggling amidst them, but I would use this opportunity in an effort to reveal myself to you in some way. We have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. That's what I mean. They can't move on. They feel like they can't move on, so they would use this as an opportunity to unload so that they could try to move on, so that they could try to move forward here. We have new love. A new person has stirred your romantic interest, and I feel like someone in this connection, perhaps both, have moved forward, but there's still this delayed gratification. There's just, it's like they can't have peace because there's so much unfinished and so much clarity that's needed, unfinished business and clarity needed in the connection. Back of the deck says, make the effort. Great love is worth the steps you're guided to take. Let's get some message cards here. If they could get you alone, what would they say? Before we do your charm bowl, some message cards, please. What would Group 1's person say? I never imagined so much perfection, and you make my heart full. So the Nine of Pentacles and this 10 of Cups energy definitely feels like perhaps in the past they were out of your league. I just saw I'm too afraid. Well, and it landed on the floor, so it wanted to come out. I'm too afraid to talk. They would say that I am suppressing how I feel for you because I'm afraid of the consequences of talking would bring. I would do anything for you. ... It came out in the reverse, but every time I see that card in the reversal, I think about the Meatloaf song, but I won't do that because we have maybe too in the reversal, because I feel like this is about closure. If they got the opportunity to see you again, they would reveal everything, but I don't know that they would act upon it. And I feel like it's in respect too to where you're sitting in life and your position. Will you choose me? Because I don't feel like they would want to be presumptuous that you would pick them. It's like they don't want to be presumptuous that just them admitting their feelings to you would cause a huge chaos and cause you to uproot everything you've built. But I want to start a family with you. They would express that these are their wishes. I feel like this is how they wish things had transpired. I wish I had had a family with you. I wish I'd made better choices. I need more balance. The Two of Pentacles reversed, and I just want space at the back of the deck. Now, this Two of Pentacles in the reverse position does talk about how they don't have the ability to commit to you at this time. And I feel like that's something that they would say too, is that I can't act upon how I feel, but I don't want you to be left without these answers from me. What would they say to you if they got you alone? I fantasize about being with you. When it says I'm stuck in a karmic cycle, and this one flipped out too, I'm scared of your temper. And we did see the Queen of Wands there. Sometimes she can be a little fiery. She doesn't like to be kept waiting. They don't know what your opinion is of them right now. I want it to be me and you at the end of the day. If they got you alone, what would they confess to you? I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of anyone that gets to be a part of your life. But the chaos this creates is too scary. But I do want to start fresh with you. And I'm so sorry. Back of this little deck says, flip it around, this needs to stop. And the Ten of Swords too, again, there's such a strong pull for closure here. It's like this needs to end because I can't handle it anymore. I can't keep going in the way that I'm going. I made a lot of wrong decisions when it came to you. What would they say, Spirit, please, if they could say anything, if they got group 1 alone? Could you forgive me for the things of the past? For my actions or my inactions as well in the past? I'm stuck in a karmic cycle with you. And it says right here, those are, you know, the same cards. I'm stuck in a karmic cycle here. And I feel like it could be mirrored. I'm sorry if I hurt you. They have a lot of remorse. They have a lot of remorse for whatever happened between the two of you. I want to reach out to you, but I'm scared. And there's no going back now. Back of this deck says, I want you, but I just can't. Like I said, I don't feel like they would act upon their feelings, but I feel like they want to lay them bare because I feel like that's their only, they can't see any other way around getting the closure that they need so that they can move forward emotionally. Let's get a charm bowl for you, group number 1. A charm bowl, please, for group number 1. If they got you alone, what would they say? What would they want to express? We have the Knight of Cups reversed. The 3 of Cups, which is reunions, which is friendship, and the 2 of Swords. So there could be some type of choice that they have to make. And I feel like they're really saying that they had blinders on too when it comes to you in the past. I feel like they chose poorly. Now, the Knight of Cups reversed can sometimes talk about somebody who maybe acted poorly in the past when it comes to you, which is why all of these sorries and apologies keep coming forward, because sometimes the Knight of Cups is someone who is kind of a meaner, kind of a jerk sometimes, and there's unrealistic expectations surrounding this card in the reversal. So there's this sense of wanting reunion so they can make amends as well. Let's pull this out. In the charm bowl for you today, group 1, you have happy, and it's on its side. It's like teetering, happy on one side and dance on the other. Because they're in this state of limbo. I feel like they're in this weird state of limbo when it comes to the two of you, and they want clarity and truthfulness to reign supreme. The Queen of Swords, air energy, but not afraid to cut people out of their life that they're not being served, or if she's not being served. But there's also an intimidation factor here. We have like this Red Cross, Blood Cross type of energy in the bowl too. So there could be a hospital connection with the syringe. But there's also the sense of addiction with the syringe. We have Z, C, and C. We also have a Christmas present, so December could be significant. We have a diamond, so there could be a relationship or some type of commitment here. We have the strength symbol here, so Leo energy, but the infinity too. Very strong connection that this person feels towards you. It's like they can't sever themselves out of this loop. And we have the 7 of Swords because somebody is holding back the truth and they want to reveal it. All right, group number 1, that is what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated with you, and if it did, I would love for you to be a part of our family here. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, mind the traffic, hit your notification bell, and drop me a comment below, because I offer a chance to win a free reading through my comment section. I choose a commenter, a subscriber for my comment section to do a personal reading for at the end of each month. So please be sure to subscribe and hit your notification bell so that I can contact you if you win, because I do have a difficult time contacting people sometimes. You can also check out my Instagram account for a chance to win a free mini read, and you can check out my Etsy account for a personal reading. They do seem to be selling out pretty quickly, but I do update the shop daily at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so keep checking back. But I really hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day today. Take care. Hello everybody. In group number 2, you were drawn to this beautiful carnelian palm, or perhaps you were drawn to the Alice in Wonderland Tarot, but this is your reading. The person on your mind, if they got you alone, what would they say to you? What would they want to express? What would they confess to you if they had a chance to get you alone? Group number 2. All those drawn to the carnelian palm. Just as a little aside here, if this doesn't resonate with you, I am dealing with collective energy today. So please take the messages as they resonate and leave behind those that do not feel right. What would they say to you if they got you alone? We have the 7 of Swords that we're starting your reading out with. And that is a card of secrecy. That is a card of suppression. And sometimes the 7 of Swords is like, I'm trying to make off with something that doesn't quite belong to me too. So let's see if there's any other messages. 3 of Swords. Oh. There could be third party here. I'm just going to say that now. It may not be for everyone. But there could be third party here. But most importantly, this person has suppressed a lot of heartache towards you and sadness because of being separated from you in some type of way. And they've been hiding that sadness in, and it's profound sadness. It's hard to hide that type of sadness without it taking a toll on you. We have the Queen of Cups. This person could be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you could be, because it's like they don't feel. It's like they feel their cup is empty. It's like they don't feel your love anymore, or they feel like their cup is empty. And truthfully, we have the 3 of Pentacles. There's this desire when it comes to you. There's this desire to be loved by you. There's a permanent type of love with the Queen of Cups. She puts a lid on it. She protects it. And this person, I feel like right here in the center with the Queen of Cups as the primary energy, there is a real sense of emotional sadness because of the love that is lost, the type of love that's lost. 10 of Cups. If they got you alone, they would tell you that they feel like this path with you could have led to forever. It's like they want to express that they see now that it could have led to forever. It could have built up to this placement of the 10 of Cups, which is emotional abundance. But we have the 3 of Wands in the reverse so far on the back of the deck. And it really shows that there have been delays or no foresight. It's like they didn't see the forest through the trees until it felt like it was too late, potentially here. We clarify the 7 of Swords, please. What would they say? Oh, thank you. We have the King of Wands reversed. And we also have the King of Swords reversed as well. Back of the deck is the 2 of Wands. And there is such a strong message. If they got you alone, they would say, you know, I was so ill-equipped to express myself back then in the past when it came to you. And I'm a little bit bitter about I feel like they're angry at themselves. And I feel like they're a little bitter when it comes to how powerless they feel now because of their powerless actions in the past. I feel like there's a lot of bitterness that have set in on them too. And I feel like that would come out if they saw you again. You would feel it, you'd see it, this bitterness of like, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I didn't have the strength of character. It almost feels like, it's like I should have had the strength of character to reveal myself to you when I had the opportunity, because there's the 4 of Wands, when I had the shot and the opportunity to do so. It's like I realize now that there's the Ace of Swords, I caused my own sadness, and it hit them like a ton of bricks, I feel, that realization. when they finally accepted their role in the entire thing, it hit them really, really hard. And I feel like it hit them hard too, because I feel like they think they hurt you in the process. So there's a lot of deep regret that they're expressing. 5 of Cups. So much like that, and that's what they would want to say to you. It's like, I feel like I really permanently missed my shot here. I feel like I really kicked myself, kicked my feet from underneath myself, kicked the legs out from underneath myself. And they worry about that. That attitude holds them back truly in life, is this reflection of what went wrong. And they do feel like it was sort of a benchmark that represents the rest of their life too. It's like they also want to express to you that they're going to carry this with them, this disappointment in themselves. They're going to carry that with them forever, or that's what they intend. I hope that they don't carry that pain with them forever, but that's what they intend to, because they say they're in a holding pattern. It's like, I can't move forward. I'm in a holding pattern. And for someone watching too, again, this isn't for everyone, but for someone watching, part of this holding pattern is something very real. This 3 of Pentacles is a foundation that you are in, or they are in, or maybe both of you are in a different foundation, but that's causing a sense of permanency, and also a permanency of the situation, but also the hang up here. It's like a surrender. And I keep hearing the serenity prayer in my mind. This acknowledgement of like, I accept things I cannot change, the knowledge to accept things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We have the World on the back of the deck, because that's what they would express, is like, I want this opportunity to give you closure, to give me closure, but it doesn't feel like closure in this connection. It feels like they know what could make them really happy. If they got you alone, what would they say? What would they say to you if they got a chance to get you alone? Queen of Swords. Back of the deck is the 2 of Wands and the 6 of Swords. Again, there's 6 of Swords is about giving and receiving of information and energy, and there's a huge knife in the middle of this cake. So there's a sense of heartbreak, sense of stabbing somebody in the back or hurting somebody either intentionally or unintentionally, that we have to now make amends for, because they are intimidated by your reaction too. If we have the Queen of Cups, or sorry, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords over here, we have the Kings of Wands and Swords over here in the reversal. So they're very much intimidated by you, and concerned about how you view them as well. They would also express to you about how attractive they find you too, to maybe sort of placate some of that anger that they're expecting, because there's the Justice in the reverse. Feeling like they're kind of stuck in a position. And even the Justice in the reverse can really talk about even like scandalous activities outside of a position. So scandalous, sort of, stepping outside of marriages. It's like deceit. It's a fear of that. It also speaks to how unfair they feel everything is. And again, they're a bit of a chip on their shoulder here with the King of Swords, because they feel like things are very unfair. Things are very unfair. And they're a little bit bitter with how everything has happened. And that bitterness has fed into their expectations of how you feel, because I think they expect you to sort of feel the same way in a way, because we have both of these energies presenting in the feminine and the masculine. So I feel like they expect you to feel a little bit bitter towards them as well. If they could get you alone, what would they say to you? Let go of control issues and allow the situation to unfold naturally. I feel like they want to control the situation, and I feel like they feel out of control now. They feel like they don't have any control of the situation, and they have to just go with the flow. And it's because of these positions that either you or them carry or are a party to now, are a part of. I do feel like there is third party potentially here. I think it's anything to me. What did they say? That someone is wearing a false mask, that I've been lying about how I feel, that I've been having to wear masks in my life about how I feel for you, and I'm hiding those feelings. It says it's time to disconnect from the world. I feel like they would appreciate that opportunity so much to be able to disconnect with you, to kind of go off and to have this chance. I feel like this is really a strong desire in their heart, that they really do want to have this experience of getting a chance to get you alone, but it feels like a hard thing to accomplish. If I'm honest, it feels like it would be difficult to accomplish this task to get you alone with them, and vice versa. Oh. Sorry about the wobble. I wobbled you so much I teetered you. All right. If they could get you alone, what would they say? I want to grow old with you. Ultimately, their hope is to have this, you know, emotional abundance that they feel like only you can provide here. It feels like the search for second best is what I keep hearing. I'm still holding on. And there's a frustration with the Nine of Wands. But also, more than that, it is a strength card. They are trying to overcome how they feel, and they are succeeding at keeping that mask on, which, again, must take a toll emotionally. Like, it just must be exhausting. I didn't see what was right in front of me. And the thing about the Nine of Wands, the Four of Cups, it's like I didn't see what was sitting right in front of me, but I feel like they're still in that zone too. And that's what they would want to say, is that I didn't see what was right in front of me. I didn't act. I was not prepared. I wasn't ready to act and reveal myself at that time. I just didn't have the power to tell you what I wanted. But I've worked on that. It almost feels like an irony. It's like they weren't ready then, but I feel like they would be ready now. But in the past, I feel like now there's no position open. You give me mixed signals. Part of their bitterness, you know, in pile one, there was a lot of apologies coming through, but part of their bitterness, I feel like that, yes, they have clarity about their part in it, but they aren't ready to completely take on the responsibility solely on their own. There could have been a lot of cat and mouse happening at the beginning of this connection. They didn't feel supported enough in the past in order to reveal themselves, and so they would express that frustration in you. It's like, I didn't feel like I could act, and they would want to explain themselves away a bit. It's like, I didn't have the courage to step forward because you gave me these mixed signals, because I didn't know how you truly felt, and so I didn't have the confidence. I go home all to myself, and I know that I hurt you. So there's even the sense that even if they feel like they're in a crowded room, they still feel lonely. And they're alone in these feelings too. And that's why they would want to unload them on you, because at least they have an audience for it. At least they have somebody that they can bear the brunt of the burden with them. There's a sense of them feeling very lonely in this experience. And this has taught me what pain really is. Back of the deck. This is all I have to give. It's like, all we have is this moment. I can't, it's like this is all I have to give right now. I don't have anything else to offer. And the Page of Wands is talking about that inspired thought that leads to new beginnings, the hope for new beginnings. But in this card, it's like, I don't have any action to back it up right now. All I have is this moment. All I have is our fantasies, and I can't act upon them. I can't act upon them. I can't reciprocate with what I really want to do for fear of potentially hurting other people at this time. A mess of my cards today. If they got you alone, what would they say? I want commitment. I just can't do that right now. I can't act upon my commitment with you. I can't act upon my feelings for you at this time. So I feel like there would be frustration even amidst the meeting if they got a chance to have you alone. I feel like there would be frustration, because it's like, all I want is one more day. It's like that song. I keep hearing that song. I don't know if it was from Lone Star. I'm not sure who they were, but it says one more day, one more time. It's like, all I want is one more day with you. But at the end of the song, it says, but all that would leave me was wanting one more day. If I got one more day, all that is going to leave me is wanting one more day with you. So it's just sort of a painful, I feel kind of sad. My heart is heavy. This whole twin flame stuff sometimes scares me, but they feel that. They feel the possibility of this being something divinely guided. I'm done running from this connection. What would they say? And I do want this. I do want us to be in a relationship. And I feel like they'd say that they always did. I'm being subliminal with how I feel about you. So if you would accuse them of sending mixed signals, that would be their answer to you. It's I was being subliminal. I was being subliminal with how I felt. Which is sort of frustrating because it doesn't really open up a lot of certainty. What would they say if they got you alone, please? I'm curious about you. I'm curious about where this could have gone. And it's all they can do is speculate now. This needs to stop. This feeling of, and the fact that they're still holding on. The pain that they're experiencing. This is the Three of Swords. This has taught them what pain truly is. I work to distract myself. I'm so jealous. I'm keeping an eye on you, but it's a secret. And I would take you home to mom. It's like, oh, there's such a beautiful message of them saying, you know, we could have had it all together. We could have had it all with the Ten of Cups. I've missed so much of your experience. And I want back into your life. Back of the deck says, I do want it to be me and you at the end of the day. That is their hope. That's their secret desire, what they would love to confess to you. Let's get a charm bowl for you, group number 2. I do end each pile with a charm cast if you are new to the channel. We have one out of the bowl so far. The Empress reversed. What would they say to you if they got a chance to get you alone? Seven of Cups reversed. If they got you alone, they would just want to clear everything up. The Seven of Cups reversed is about restored sense and clarity coming in. It's like they would want to firmly know where you stand as well. And they would want to make sure that you knew where they stood too. And in fact, there is vibes here too that this could be you could be a female asking about another female. That's not for everybody, but that could be the case here because it's like somebody doesn't feel like they're on the same level, or somebody doesn't feel like it's reciprocated. And also they would want to express to you about why it's taken them so long potentially to be able to restore this clarity and to express themselves as well, because they would want to explain their limited capacity, their limited resources when it comes to expressing themselves. Came all the way down to confidence, and they're kicking themselves now, but we have in the bowl today I and B's, Ivy. It could be a name. We also have when. It's like, when will this happen? We also have here the stethoscope. So there could be a hospital or nursing connection or a blocked heart chakra. Somebody really wants to express what is in their hearts. We have a group of bananas, which is a friendship charm for me, and a charm of reunion. So this could be a friend that never was able to get out of that zone, was never able to express themselves. We do have the little wrench in the plans. That turned into a big wrench, I feel. And we have the little screw, which is a sexual charm for me. We have the, I love this. We have the Alice in Wonderland White Rabbit, and we're dealing with the Alice in Wonderland Tarot. So thank you, Spirit. That's really cool. But it's like they feel like they're late. It's like it's too late for a very important date. No time to say goodbye. Hello, they're late, they're late, they're late. We also have here the mermaid. A symbol of a siren, somebody who lures me or calls me or pulls me towards away from something that's secure and to my detriment sometimes. It's like you have the power to destroy them. All right, group 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated with you. And if it did, I would love for you to join our family here and subscribe to this channel. Hit your notification bell and your like button, and drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my accounts down below for Etsy and for Instagram. But I really hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care. Hello everybody, in pile number 3, you were drawn to this beautiful piece of malachite. I don't even know where to put it, it's so big, I'll just place it right here. And this is your reading, the Unicorn Tarot, and if the person on your mind got you alone, what would they say to you? What would be their message? So if this person got group 3 alone, what would they say, Spirit? Ooh, I just saw the 6 of Cups. You have the Death card. Starting out your reading with the Death card, which is not a physical death, but it is a rebirth. They may want to use this opportunity, if they ever had a chance to get you alone, to sort of shoot their shot with you to see what is still possible. We have the 2 of Pentacles. What would they say to you if they got you alone? The 4 of Cups. I feel like they would say that this connection has never quite left them. We have the High Priestess. And they have spent, and the Judgment card, they have spent a lot of time reflecting upon what has happened in the past here, and what has led you to this point. And there is this desire here for fresh starts because of this reflection, but this is something that they are keeping to themselves. What would they say to you if they got you alone? I feel like they would tell you that they have a lot of responsibilities right now, and that they're still holding on. They're still holding on to this connection, but you can even see this Knight of Wands here. They could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. They don't have to be, but this particular Knight of Wands, he's wearing a mask because I feel like this person is wearing masks, and they are juggling a lot in their life. Part of their responsibilities that they are juggling could be another person, potentially. Take that as it resonates. We're going to see what the clarifiers tell us, but something stops them from expressing themselves. And if they got you alone, I feel like they would feel more freedom to be able to take that mask off and make an actual push towards you with what they feel like saying and doing, because the Chariot is a card of decision. But being the number 7, it's followed by that Strength card, the number 8, which is what is required to push our Chariot forward when we've made a decision. And it's like they never had the opportunity to do that, but if they had the opportunity and had you again, if they had you alone again, they would use this frustration that they're feeling as a strength. I feel like they would want to express themselves, maybe even a physical way, if they got you alone. Can we clarify the Death card, please? What would they say to you if they got you alone? But they would indicate how frustrated they've been and how difficult it's been and how they're still holding on to this connection, and they have been holding on to this connection. There's a sense here with the 7 of Pentacles of impatience. It's like it's been difficult, this wait. It's been difficult to maintain an objective of hope amidst the wait, because it feels like it's been a long time for some. And it's like they also want to express, it's like, I never got the chance to see what would come about of this connection. I never got a chance to see what fruit could grow, what abundance we could create. And that's frustrating too, because I feel like I was so close yet so far away to something, to success, to something real here. And now that loss, I feel like, has hit them hard. Yeah, there's the 9 of Cups. It's hit them really hard with the 4 of Cups, because they keep, no matter what good things come into their life, and they've had good things in their life, no matter what good things come in, I feel like this has cast a shadow on that, on their ability to maintain an objective point of gratitude in their life. And it also showcases that I feel like they would say to you, I'm not very happy with what's happening in my life right this moment. Whatever's going on, you know, they're having to maintain this connection in secrecy for some reason. So whatever their experience they're living in right now, it's not a fulfilling one, or they don't see it as a fulfilling one. And part of the reason why they don't see it as very fulfilling is because they keep looking into the past here. What would they say if they got you alone? The Hermit. That even amidst their responsibilities, they have not stopped thinking about you. They have not stopped trying to figure out a way to communicate, to wield more power towards you. And there is a sense of them not feeling like they have power to change things right now too. It's not truth. The Four of Cups never represents, you know, a real sense of powerlessness. It truly is a reflection of their limited capabilities. But the Magician is underneath. All of their power is going to come after this reflection. But the Hermit tells us that there's loneliness in their heart for you too, because they've put so much of their emotional stock into this connection. And I feel like it's just built up over the years, the amount of feeling that they have. It is also, you know, there is this indicator too of like them saying to you that, you know, I'm in a position right now where I'm juggling so many of my practical concerns. I have so much going on that I can't pursue my heart here. It's like it's like a sacrificial type of energy. It's like I'm sacrificing my happiness for all of my responsibilities at this time. I feel like they would also say to you that they wish they had the strength to act in a way that honored the power of this connection and the intensity of their feelings towards you. Because this King of Cups, there's a reason they're holding on. And I feel like if they got you alone, they would definitely express that they are, or they do feel like they are in love with you. And this person could be a water sign with the King of Cups, but more importantly, it represents the emotional response to all this frustration, the emotional response to the fact that they are holding on. And they really want an opportunity for a new beginning. And that's what they would say, is that this, you know, it'd be, if this meeting happened, it would be a meeting potentially out of the blue, but they would want an opportunity to have a new beginning with you with the Page of Cups. They would want to take advantage of this opportunity, but they wouldn't feel like they could. It's like confusion. It's confusion overload sometimes with the Two of Swords reverse. It's like a sense of indecision, of not being able to commit, of not being able to make a choice, because there could be potentially situations where we are in a placement of security that we are hesitant to shake ourselves out of. There could be even other people that they are trying to take into consideration too. And it feels like if they were to embark upon a new relationship with you, they would say that I would have to compromise another relationship, or I would have to compromise my security, or I would have to compromise my comfort zone in some way. And that's something that is very, I feel like, kind of scary to them. What would they say to you if they could say anything? We have the Fantasy card, Emily Bronte. They would say that it's that they do fantasize about you, and that you are a dream come true with the Nine of Cups. They do wish for new hope and new beginnings with time. It's like they hope that if I'm patient enough, that I could finally get another opportunity, that there could be a rebirth here. And they fantasize about that. With the Hermit, with the Four of Cups, it's like amidst this powerlessness that they feel, Spirit says it's not actual powerlessness. It just requires a practical plan towards their goals. But it's easier to live in this fantasy than it is to act. What would they feel? What would they say if they had a chance to get you alone? We have the Hedgehog reversed. And this little hedgehog is poking himself out sort of in a very cautious yet bold and brave way. But he did come out reversed, which kind of gives me this sense of hiding. Again, not acting upon their desired feelings, even amidst this, if they had a chance to get you alone. It's like, I want to express how I feel, but I don't feel like I can act upon how I feel. But even though there's this volcano, there's a pressure building inside of them that they would want to express to you. It's like, I have a pressure building that I can't escape from. But there's the spider. It's like, I've made my bed, though. We've made our beds, we've made our decisions, and now we have to fulfill all the necessary responsibilities within those decisions. But again, their sense of powerlessness, their sense of not being able to change things is a problem in and of itself. So they're not seeing things 100% clearly, but that's what they would say, is that I want to act towards you, but I have to suppress that because it could create some type of chaos. What would they say if they got you alone? We have seek professional advice. They might seek your advice, but I almost feel like I always get like a law energy from that card. So if somebody is in a connection where they would be required to sort of sever themselves in a legal way, this person could be seeking advice from their friends and family as well. I also feel like they think that they took wrongful advice or they should have sought professional advice when it came to you. I am obsessed with you. I'm addicted to you, and I want to know if you feel the same way. Do you think about me too? The 15, the Devil card, can indicate as well that they are stuck in some type of position that doesn't allow them to act on that obsession. I am in so much pain. And there's a lot of even loneliness that I'm feeling from that Hermit as well. My life started when I met you. And the back of the deck says, happiness is my priority. But I almost feel like it's not their happiness that is their priority. I feel like they might have other responsibilities that are their priorities as well. And if they got you alone, I feel like, though, that they would want to use this as an opportunity to express where their happiness lies in their own mind. But that card always, I have to be honest, that card always does speak to me about third party, if I'm honest. So there could be third party. So take that as it resonates. Definitely not for everyone. What would they say to you if they got you alone? Group number 3. I know more than you think I know. And no one can change my love for you. What would they say to you if they got you alone? I've been putting myself first, and I've been seeing it's only been hurting me more. There is a self-preservation about this person, and I feel like they would acknowledge that. It's like, I was trying to keep myself safe. I know that you're my twin flame. If they could get you alone, what would they say? I want commitment with you, but I just can't do it yet. Back of the deck says, I know that you're right. I've been trying to forgive myself. What would your person say to you if they got you alone? Group 3. I have a family. So take that as it resonates. Not for everyone, but that is true for someone watching. And it could be, there could be a very mirrored situation, but again, not for everyone. I surrender to what will be. I feel like they would really let you in on what you have missed. And I feel like they are watching you, and that's why they think they know more than you think they know about your situation. Don't be surprised if I contact you soon. This person, I'm sorry about that. This person, there were vibes in other piles about like a closure if they got a chance to get you alone. But I don't feel like this person would want this to be a one-off. I think that if they got you alone, they would want more. They would want to see you again. I can't escape this, and I don't want to. It would be sort of a caveat to more. It would be a opening for them to see you more and more. I feel like it wouldn't be just a one-time thing. Let's build together. Where are you and where have you been? It feels impossible, but I can't give up completely. We have Facebook creep. We also have I can't decide what to do. Back of the deck, this isn't right and we both know it. I feel like if they had a chance to get you alone to tell you anything and to express anything to you, I feel like they would take it as a launching pad. They would use it as a launching point. How would they feel? What would they say if they got you alone? I'm sorry if I hurt you. An opportunity to apologize. We have high school sweethearts. That's sweet. So somebody watching, take that as it resonates. A couple more here. I have so much to lose, but I do love you. And we saw that King of Cups. And I know that I will love you forever. I want to run away together. I wouldn't make the same mistake twice. But I am worried that this may all be one-sided. Back of the deck says, I'm waiting for your call. Yeah, they would not, I feel like they would want to launch something if they got a chance to see you alone, even if there is commitments, even if there are things between the two of you that prohibit it or that should prohibit it. I feel like if they saw you again, it would almost be like feeding a hungry bear. It's like they would just keep coming back and back and back and back. Let's get a charm bowl for you. Group number 3. A charm bowl, please, for group 3. If they got you alone, what would they say? Starting with Wheel of Fortune. They would tell you that you guys are fated. There's the Five of Swords reversed. They would tell you that you guys are fated to be, that this was a fated meeting. There was a reason for it. And they would almost feel like if they got you alone, it would mean something. Like it would have a deeper meaning, energetically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, that it would have a purpose and a meaning, and they would see meaning behind it. It's like, this is destiny. We were meant to have this meeting, and it's for a reason. Because I feel like they would use it as a launching pad. For some of you, they would use it as a launching pad because they're putting you in this position as the Empress. And it's all about energy. It has nothing really to do about gender. It's all about the energy of abundance that you represent, and fulfillment and love and wholeness. And it's like they want to make amends too with the Five of Swords reversed. They want to make amends, and they want some peace to come in after potential arguments or conflict in your connection in the past. But also, ultimately, they want peace in their own life. They want peace that comes from this, from the clarity that can ensue from this reconnection as well. Ooh, we have J, and it jumped out of the bowl. JD, DJ. We have live the life you love. It's about going after the life that makes you happy and fulfills you, instead of sticking with situations and people and things that are not serving you, but that offer maybe some security. We have heart, and we have the heart. We also have an ambulance here. There could be a hospital connection along with this stethoscope, a doctor, hospital connection. We also have the lipstick, which is a symbol of a siren for me, or seduction. The whale tail, going with the flow. We have the Empress with the star, which is a symbol of motherhood. Do as you would be done by it says do as you would be done by, almost too simple, but it's all we need to get by. It's like an eye for an eye. Do as you, treat others as you want to be treated. And we have the Four of Cups. There is a sense of apathy in the current state. You could be feeling that apathy regarding this connection, or feeling hopeless or helpless to change things. This person could also be sharing that feeling as well. It's not a truth, because truly, if they were to put the effort and the necessary tasks before them to create change in this situation, in this connection, they could. It just requires courage to step outside of comfort zones or perceived prisons. All right, group 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated. And if it did, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel and become a part of our family here. I would love for you to hit your notification bell and your like button and drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. I do pull a name from my comment section once a month to offer a free reading. So be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can contact you if you are chosen. I also offer a chance to win a free mini read on Instagram as well. So check me out over there. And I offer personal readings through Etsy. My account has been selling out very quickly, but I do update and repost on weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep checking back. But I hope that you come back here and visit me on another day, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care.